guys, it's Cooper with Bar-A-BBQ here in Montgomery, Texas. I wanted to start our YouTube channel, and I figured the best place to start would be with a cook. So we have this beautiful offset smoker built by M&M. This is the Goldee's backyard version. I'll be honest, I haven't gotten to cook on it a ton, but I want to change that today. So I figured the best way to do that would be to break it in with some Dino Beef Ribs. So follow along. We'll go through our step-by-step process on how we do Dino Beef Ribs here at Bar-A, as well as my thoughts and the cooking process on the M&M Backyard Goldee's offset. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so before we kind of start this video, I want to go over some of the specs on the Goldee's Backyard M&M pit. So let's dive into it. All right, guys, so here's some of my favorite features about the Goldee's offset made by M&M. So first off, you have a 1/4-inch thick steel cooking chamber, which is great for heat retention. You have a 6-inch stack, which is great for airflow, and a dampener with tick marks of 25, 50, and 75%, which is great for dialing in your cooks. I love the beautiful Goldee's logo on the cook chamber. It's very clean. A firebox being to fit full-size splits in, a tell-truth thermometer, and a grease spout. It's a great workmanlike backyard pit. Get more information at mmbbqcompany.com. All right, guys, so like I said, I figured the best way to break in the new pit is going to be to throw some Dino Beef Ribs on. I have a pair of our McLaren Farms beef ribs that we serve here every Saturday at Bar-A, and I'm going to show y'all how we season them, and then we'll move them out and put them on the pit. So first thing, we're going to take our 16 mesh black pepper. We're going to throw just a little bit on the back side of these. Nice even coat. Then we're going to hit it with our Rio Spices Seasonal out of Huntsville, Texas. Again, just a nice even coat. Not too worried about the back side, but we do want to season it. Now, I'm not going to spritz or spray or rub any kind of binder on these. These are still pretty wet from the cryovac. If they were dried out a little bit, I would just kind of spritz some water on there just to give it a little bit of tackiness. But like I said, right now these are solid. So let's put a nice, even, fairly heavy layer of black pepper on here. Making sure we're nice and even and consistent with our spray pattern here. We're going to get our sides. And that's about what we're looking for our pepper portion there. We're going to hit with our seasoned salt. I go about the same level of salt application as I would on a brisket for our beef ribs. These are very, very rich protein, even though they are a choice grade product. Lots of internal fat. Cool. I'll pat them in. I'm going to let these sit on the table for about 10 minutes or so, let that salt kind of penetrate. Let's get a nice wet look to them. We're going to go ahead and put them on the Backyard Goldee's pit. Stay tuned. Yeah, so got to steal some coals today from Jeremy at Mad Scientist. He's here as well, filming some content. So he's cooking a brisket over there on the other backyard smoker. No, that's good. Yeah. So we've thrown these beef ribs on, dead cold pit. We're gonna kind of slowly bring them up. Got some 4 really, really light logs here. Gonna kind of throw these in. Let's kind of build a little bit of a coal bed. Kind of put some good smoke and color on these beef ribs first couple hours. So we're going to try and get to like 175, 200 with this first initial 4 logs here. So we'll see where that gets us. Let's see, pit's dead cold. Just getting started. Stack is about 3/4 shut. Be nice and smoky. All right, guys, so we're almost to that 2-hour mark now on the Goldee's pit. I want to kind of show y'all the fire we're running. We're trying to keep nice, just kind of real chill flames. Going to stay pretty smoky. We want this to be pretty dark as far as the bark. So the more smoke we can put on there is going to help kind of with the color. And then keeping that flame really chill is going to help kind of make sure we don't crisp anything up on our edges and keep it nice and soft. But that's a fire check there at about 2 hours. And that's keeping us about 225 or so on this pit. So I'll be honest, this is my first, real, I have a day to myself, time to kind of cook on this thing, and super impressed so far. So I'll keep checking in as we go along. All right, so we're going to check in on these beef ribs. We're at that 3-hour mark. I just bumped the 275. Starting to get some really nice color on here. Still got a ways to go, but like I said, we're going to be riding about 275 for most of the rest of this cook. We'll bump to 300 to kind of finish these things out. Let me show you all the fire. We're keeping it about 3/4 shut. Then we've got a nice little coal bed, 2 logs, staying nice and smoky, kind of chill. So we'll check back in a bit. Cool, so we've been about 6.5, 7 hours now on the Goldee's offset pit. Let's check in on the beef ribs. Perfect, beautiful color, nice and soft. Got that nice bone pullback here. These guys should be temping. That's what we're looking for. Anywhere between 195 and 200 is kind of our ideal goal here. We're a little high here, but it's okay. It's for our consumption. Cool. So we got these beef ribs pulled. They're temping where we want. We're going to get these wrapped up in some foil and let them rest. Big scoop of tallow. Make sure we wrap it nice and tight. We've got those wrapped up in tallow. We'll let those come down to about 145, 150 internal. Take about an hour, hour and a half out with the weather today. And then we'll slice into them, see what we got. Cool, guys. So we threw these beef ribs on about 8 o'clock this morning. We ran them nice and smoky, around 200 to 225 for the first about 2.5, 3 hours. Then bumped to 250 for about an hour. And then we finished about the last 2.5 hours at 275 to 300 degrees. Kept it really simple, kept the stack about 3/4 shut the entire cook. It's got us to this point now where we've pulled them, we've wrapped them, they've been resting in this foil for about a solid hour, so they hit 150 internal. They're nice and barky, nice and soft, really rendered. We're going to go ahead and dump this tallow over the top and show the money shot as we cut these open. We have our beef ribs. We've got our tallow dumped over the tops. They're nice and pretty looking, nice and shiny with that nice beefy flavor. I'm going to bring in our guest chef today, Chef Jeremy Yoder from Mad Scientist Barbecue.
Good to be here. This looks excellent. It's got that glistens, it's like the Hollywood glow. for a piece of barbecued meat is if there's rendered fat all over it, it looks so good. Feels nice too. Doesn't feel like it's gonna completely shred. I don't know. I give it an A+ on appearance.
Feels nice, looks nice, but most importantly, let's see how it tastes.
Yeah.
Ready to taste it out?
Oh yeah.
Let's give them a nice center cut bone.
Pro level beef rib slice right there.
And there we go, folks. That's what we're looking for. Not overcooked. You can still see the structure within the protein. It's nice and moist, nice and soft looking. It's going to be a great bite.
Okay. All right, look at this. Beautiful smoke ring. Great bark on the outside. You can tell it's kind of coalesced into just a super flavorful outside portion. And what you can see here is these little bands of fat that run between the grains of muscle. What can happen if you overcook a beef rib, you can cook all of that out. And what makes a beef rib super special is that intramuscular fat, so you don't want to overcook them and dry them out. So this to me looks like $1,000,000. Can't wait to try it. Here we go. Yeah. My man. Dude. When I started cooking barbecue, I was trying to create bites like that. As my pappy used to say, you can't beat that with a stick. Yeah. So, in part, me giving feedback on you cooking beef rib kind of feels like me talking to a pro football player about the game that I watched. But for me, and in comparison to the barbecue I've eaten, this is as good a beef rib as I've had.
Appreciate it.
Just packed with flavor. It's been seasoned properly. Great smoke flavor. Everything's still juicy. You retain the texture of meat without, having to fight against, trying to get a bite out. And yeah, so to me, it has everything I want in a beef rib. And yeah, excellent job. And what I loved about how you did it is you didn't make it super complicated. There was no crazy secret. It's okay. A few basic principles. You do things right, and you're going to get a great product. This is. Well, let me ask you this. Are these beef ribs choice, prime, Wagyu, what?
These are choice beef ribs. You can get these at any of your grocery stores within Texas that I know of.
If you live near the mythical H-E-B, the greatest grocery store on earth, yeah, you can pick some up. In other parts of the country, it might be a little bit more difficult. But you don't have to, pay through the nose to get really great quality beef ribs because these already have so much marbling that if you do your job properly, it's going to be an amazing bite of food. So no notes on this one. Just excellent work, man. This is great.
It's a great beef rib. We did it all on the backyard Goldee's pit made by M&M. It's my first time to truly cook on the pit. I can honestly say I think the results speak for themselves. It puts out a great product. It's a great pit for the backyard cook. Thank y'all for watching, guys. We appreciate y'all. Take care and God bless.